Good afternoon. Welcome back to Lion's Pride. My name is Michael, and today I am going to give my thoughts on the Capitol Hill violence that erupted on Wednesday, the 6th. Yes, sorry, I have to check. Today is a somber day in America. There has been horrendous acts of violence committed by what have been labeled as Trump supporters. Whether that is true or not, I am not 100% sure on. Not talking about the acts of violence, talking about the accusation against Trump supporters. First, my thoughts, prayers, and condolences to the families of the 5 individuals that lost their lives in these heinous attacks against our Capitol. I do not ever condone such acts of violence, such acts of terrorism against our government. Our government is flawed. We know this. But acts of violence and acts of treason like that are not acceptable under any circumstances. The fallout from such acts from a few individuals has ruined the integrity of the electoral process, the integrity of the Electoral College, the integrity of the Capitol Police Department. And it makes me sad that those events happened. They shouldn't have happened. I do not condone it. I cannot stress that enough, that I do not condone those acts of violence. On to a more pressing matter. After the certification of the election, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi stated that they would be seeking articles of impeachment against Donald J. Trump for incitement of insurrection. Now, as you know, I am a Trump supporter. I have supported Trump since he announced that he would be running for the presidency. Do I think he is egocentric? Yes. Do I think he has a swollen head and a big ego? Yes. Do I think that he tries to be larger than life? Yes. But he's human. And love him or hate him, he has done good things for this country over the last 4 years. Now, the Democratic caucus is pushing for the vice president to enact the 25th Amendment, which would immediately remove any and all powers from the president. Basically, he would be fired. And the Democrats, namely Nancy Pelosi, are saying that if the vice president does not enact the 25th Amendment, then they will be proceeding forward with articles of impeachment for a second time, of which President Trump could face up to 20 years in federal prison. Or at the very least, he could be banned from ever holding another elected office, which would keep him from running in 2024. I don't agree with the 25th Amendment being enacted. I do not agree with the articles of impeachment being filed. The man has 11 days. However, Speaker Pelosi is greatly concerned that President Trump is going to enact a nuclear strike before he leaves office just because he lost the election. The man might be egocentric and a megalomaniac, But he's not psychotic. He's not going to destroy the entire world over an election. Because if we launch, other countries are going to launch. And it's going to be Fallout, the real game. I do not believe President Trump will do anything like that. I believe he will possibly declassify information, possibly give pardons to individuals. I believe he would do that, just to give the big middle finger to the Democrats. Now, as far as the election, do I believe the election was rigged? Yes, I do. Do I believe that President Trump was cheated out of victory? Absolutely. But I will not now or ever call on patriots, my subscribers, or my followers or my supporters to ever incite violence. Civil disobedience is one thing. I do it every day. I walk into these truck stops, I walk into these customers that I'm picking up or delivering at, and I don't wear a mask. Not because I'm an anti-masker, but because these masks don't work. Okay? Civil disobedience is one thing. Outright violence and acts of sedition are another, and they will not be condoned. Now, I believe that the perpetrators of this act of insurrection need to be found, arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. I do believe that. I do not, however, believe that President Trump should be held accountable. I don't believe that you can hold one individual accountable for the acts of somebody else. Okay? That would be like me giving a speech to pump you people up, and then you go out and smash windows. Don't do that. Do not do that. But then it would be a case of, oh, well, he told him to do it, so let's go after him. No. President Trump, did he say some wrong things? Yeah, he did. Could they be taken out of context? Absolutely. Okay? Now, even though President Trump has officially lost the election and he will be out of office by January 20th, when the new administration is sworn in, I still support some of the things that he did. I don't support everything he did, but I support a majority of the things that he did. And I believe that now, more than ever, I pray for this nightly. I pray for healing and unity. I know you've heard that phrase spread all over the news and television, but yes, right now we need healing and unity. Okay? We need to come together not as Democrats, not as Republicans. We need to come together as Americans. Okay? So we can fight through some of the things that we're facing right now. Right now, we're facing COVID-19. Okay? Now, President-elect Biden is calling for mask mandate across the board, including interstate commerce, which covers me. Okay? I just don't know why when we have a vaccine. Now, one thing that President-elect Biden said that I do agree with is within his first 100 days, he's going to try to get 100 million shots in arms. Okay? I agree with that. However, I won't be taking the vaccine. Not for any moral principle or anything, but because I don't trust a vaccine that was developed just like that. And to the perpetrators of this violence that occurred on Capitol Hill, You do not represent true American patriots. I urge all conservatives, all patriots, do not fall into the trap that is liberalism. If you remember, in 2016, when President Trump was elected, this is the same thing that happened. Violence erupted on part of the liberals because they didn't like the outcome of the election. You know what? I'm not in favor of the outcome of the election, but you know what? We'll get them next time. Hopefully, 2024, you cast your vote for me. Let's stop fighting and let's start uniting. Let's put aside our differences, whether you're a conservative, whether you're a liberal, whether you're a patriot, left wing, right wing, whatever you may be. Let's put aside our differences and come together to heal the country, because that's what's needed right now. Let's concentrate, excuse me, let's concentrate on fighting the virus. Let's get that eradicated. That way we don't have mask mandates anymore. That way we don't have social distancing. Let's do that, number one. Number two, let's end the racial discrimination and division that's been going on in this country for years. Let's come together, not as black, not as white, not as brown or yellow, not as Jew, Gentile, not as Christian or Muslim or whatever. Let's come together as Americans, because remember, we are Americans first. So let's be Americans first. Stop the violence. I understand you're upset, okay? I'm not, doing backflips in the parking lot about Joe Biden being president. It happened. There's not much we can do to change it, okay? The Electoral College met, they certified it. Keep in mind, in 4 years, we got a chance to take the White House back. We got a chance to take the Senate back, the House back. There are options besides violence. Let us stop the fighting. Let us stop the killing. Okay? 2 of the people that died in this assault on the Capitol, a Capitol policeman and an Air Force veteran, dead over some silliness. Stop the violence. I am calling on all Americans, Democrat and Republican, to stop the violence. Now, President Trump, all right, it's up to the Congress if they're going to impeach. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay? And I understand you're upset. I'm upset too. I don't think the man needs to be impeached. I think he needs to do his last 11 days in office and then go back to Trump Tower and get a TV show firing people. I understand. I'm upset too. I busted a perfectly good pair of Bluetooth earbuds when I heard the news that they certified Biden. I'm not happy. But does being not happy justify acts of violence and death? No, it doesn't. Let us come together as Americans. I cannot stress this enough. Stop the fighting. Come back to what we were. We are Americans first. Also, I've seen reports of white supremacists at this debacle on Capitol Hill, wearing t-shirts that said 6MWE, 6 million wasn't enough. Wearing hoodies that say Camp Auschwitz. To those people, to those white supremacists, I say you do not represent the values of America. You are a stain and a blight on our democracy. And personally, I think every one of you should be thrown in jail. Because nothing you say will ever make me change my mind on that. You hate for no reason. None whatsoever. You do not represent America. You do not represent me. And you do not represent a vast majority of American citizens. As far as I'm concerned, y'all can pack your bags and get the hell out of America. You're not wanted here. You are not wanted. Any hate group is not wanted. And I will take steps to ensure that your message is over. Done. As far as I'm concerned, shirts like that, hoodies like that, that is hate speech. Under my administration, you're caught out in public with it, you're in jail. I am not playing around with white supremacists. I'm not playing around with black supremacists. I'm not playing around with hate groups. Blast me in the comments all you want. I don't care. Hate groups do not represent America. This country was founded on the basis that all men are created equal. All right? And for those that don't like gender terms, that's the way they wrote it back then. It means all men and women are created equal. Okay? We are a nation of laws. We are a nation of traditions. And we will stay that way. Now, like I said, we got Biden for 4 years minimum. Okay? Let's make the most of it. I understand you're not happy. You know, hey, I'm not. I was willing to give Obama a shot, even though I didn't vote for him. So you know what? Like I said, let's come together as Americans, stop the violence, stop the fighting, stop the bickering and the arguing, and let's heal this divided country. A giant band-aid of love and acceptance in this country. That is what we need. Sorry, my truck started. We need to heal the division of this country. And it's not division from President Trump. It's division from Democrats and liberals. Or Democrats and liberals. From liberals and conservatives. Democrats and Republicans have divided this country. Let's heal the country and stop the violence. Thank you for joining me this far to the end of this video. Like and subscribe. Click the subscribe button down there and turn on all the bell notifications. That way you get notified when I upload a new video. Stay tuned because I'm going to be releasing more talking points for my presidential campaign. And share this video to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Parler, anywhere you can share it. Because this message of unification needs to get out. Anyway, I am Michael. I want to thank you for joining me on Lion's Pride. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America.